Hey there, YouTubers. All right, so I am back in Virginia, back in the studio, and we are able to hopefully make our videos a little better than what we've been doing while I was in Hawaii, where I didn't have all my stands, my mounts, my lights. All right, so let's get into it. Unboxing video, obviously. This is DIY PC Rainbow Flash S1P mid-tower gaming case. All right, let's go ahead and get it open. Now, this is one of many videos I'm going to have highlighting all the components that are going into the wife's computer, besides the CPU, which I've already done, and potentially the graphics card. I have not decided as of today what graphics card I'm going to give her. I was thinking about buying a new one. I honestly wanted to get her a RTX 3070, but I don't think that's going to happen because I got shot out of the RTX 3080 series, the RTX 3080 lottery today. What a joke that was. I spent a lot of time on the computer today trying to get my hands on one. It just wasn't meant to be. Somebody bought them all up. So if you're out there and you got lucky enough to buy it, I gotta say, lucky you. I'm jealous. Definitely jealous. Though I just saw some of the reviews. Didn't look like it was as impressive as it was meant to be. But who knows? A lot of these people, you know, use old numbers, and you just never know unless you see them actually swapping the computer components out. All right. So here's the case. Let me get the plastic off, and we'll talk about this. And I think I will actually grab some motherboards because just so happens I've got a couple close. So this actually, you know, it looks more pink than it's going to show up in this video, I have a feeling. We may have a little too much light on it. But scroll up and down here. So we have tempered glass here, which is nice. There's 4 thumb screws on it holding it in. And let me take this off of the stand for a second. So up top we've got a vented grill, magnetic. There you go. And it looks like you can get multiple size fans in there, case fans. God, I'm just coming back from Hawaii, folks. I am a little brain dead. So I would say all kinds of different sizes. That aspect is really good. Over here, let's turn around, look at it this way. This is the top, right? So we have microphone, headphone, USB, 2 USB 2.0s, USB 3.0, LED, reset. God, you guys can't even see that. Microphone, headphone, USB 2.0, USB 2.0, USB 3.0, an LED button, reset, and here's your on-off button. Then you can see a hard drive light and probably your power LED right there. This is what it looks like in the front. In a moment I'll get this open. This looks kind of shoddy right here, DIY PC. And then down here, you can kind of see how that sticks up. You know, overall, it's a sharp looking case, I gotta say. We'll back up. There's the camera mount. It actually looks pretty good. Now, there are some, you know, manufacturing that could be better. And yours truly, you know, has worked as a manufacturing engineer on the space shuttle and some other aerospace stuff. I can tell you this would not cut it where I work. But for PC case, hey, It isn't the worst thing in the world. So it looks like they include a fan here, probably 80 millimeter. Obviously, your expansion card's going to go here, and then your ATX power supply down here. Let's go ahead and get this tempered glass off here. Alright, so tempered glass, basically I'm going to unscrew it with my hand. Now it's not the smartest thing to do to have this on its side when you're taking these off. Or excuse me, I said it'd be smarter to have it on its side than in this position, just in case the glass does fall off. So keep that in mind. Right now it's upright. So I'm taking it off, and it has film on both sides of it to protect the glass. Alright, so now we can get a closer look at this. There's your fan there. So what, like I said, appears to be an 80 millimeter fan. Plastic bag of goodies in here. Let's see if I can get these out from this angle. Doesn't look like I can. Well, we'll just manhandle it. So you got some zip ties in here. We've got a replacement expansion port. Let's see what else we have here. Probably some number 632 hardware. I want to say that looks like a replacement. So they actually included replacement thumb screws, or whatever you want to call these. So that's pretty cool in case you lose it. Now, they actually include a manual, and their manuals are honestly not that bad. I am definitely, you know, liking what they're putting out as far as this goes. So good job on that. All right, let me take the other side off. Now, this side is you may need a screwdriver, or a Phillips head. It's got two screws, one here and then one at the bottom, but they're on their finger tight this time. So I'm going to put all my hardware back in the bag. We don't lose it, and then take the side off. So before we get on into the inside, let's take a look at this. Now I'll probably do another video where I take the front off and I put a fan in, just so you know. So here's your front case panel connectors. Standard stuff, it looks like. You've got a HDD, LED, power LED, plus minus, or positive negative, reset switch, and the power switch. This guy is either HD audio or USB 2.0, USB 2.0. Now this is probably for your, let's see. This is probably for some kind of LED lighting, if this includes LED lighting. So until I actually hook that thing up, I'm not going to know any better. USB 3.0 connector. And then, is this the one I already grabbed? HD audio. Okay, so most of these are standard, except for this guy. Now, down below, you can see the hard drive tray. It looks like this one is set up. We always knock something over on this channel. This is set up for one single 3.5-inch drive. Let's see if you, hopefully you guys can see that. Plastic tray. A lot of times these are metal. This one looks okay though. Snaps in there. That's good actually. That's a nice tight fit. Over here you could see some places where you could put some other drives in, and obviously this is where you could access your CPU cooler if you had a mounting plate on it. So that's a nice big cutout there. Now One thing that I like to call out sometimes, and this case is nice. Look at how much depth there is there between where the right hand access panel would go and the frame itself. So these cables will really be easy to run through here, whether you do it, you know, professionally looking or you hack it up like a lot of people do. Should be easy enough to route those and not too many issues. Now let's take the front off of this thing. Now I'm going to try and back the camera up a little bit. All right, so I might have to slide the case down. So, just like all the other cases, you flip it over. Hopefully you saw that. So, the top is sitting on the counter. And then I'm going to grab, might as well see what the bottom looks like too. Vent here for the PSU. You've got these cheap plastic legs. But this is where you're going to grab it, okay, to get the front cover off. So I'm not left-handed, but I should be able to get it. And boom. So do be careful, okay? You see that there is a connector down there. And last thing you want to do is rip the cables out or, you know, sever them. So that's the front. And I will eventually, you know, do a video on it. Fan installation in this thing. This is pretty deep, the front of this, and it is vented. So let's go ahead and take this off the mount again. I like to note these things. You can see there are vents there. So this will get some fresh air in here to be sucked in by 3 fans that will blow across your motherboard, GPU, all right, CPU. Put the front back on. So the way this is designed, you know, like I said, I'll make a video. The fan itself has to sit on this side, which means you have to take the front off and obviously and screw it in coming in from this side. Okay, so you have 3 fans there. And you got this nice big cavity here with these vents. You should get some pretty good airflow across here, which is nice. Now, other things to note, this is vented down here for the hard drive and the power supply. Power supply being down here, hard drive over here. So this is actually, you know, this is really good design. I personally like the PSU shroud cover. Sometimes I like the cutout so you can see actually which power supply you have, especially if you're like me and you have at least 2 dozen power supplies and you can't remember where the hell you put you know, that 600 watt one or the 900 watt. It's nice to be able to tell. So, you know, I'm not going to be able to do that on this case. What else? Let's put some motherboards in here, folks, so you can see what it looks like. And you can see right there, Mini ITX, Micro ATX, and ATX will fit this, okay? Now, I will tell you from previous DIY PCs, sometimes they don't leave enough of a gap up here, which is disappointing. This one has a nice cutout though, so they may have learned from all my griping that I've done on previous videos. And to be honest with you, besides some manufacturing, you know, things here and there, this actually looks pretty well designed. Now, cheap materials here, as well as cheap tolerances, but you know, overall not too bad. And I'm starting to like this more and more. So let's go grab some motherboards. All right, folks, so I was going to show you how this goes in there, but so you see the 4 spacers there, and 4 standoffs, sorry. I sometimes forget that. So this is obviously going to screw into those, okay? So this will sit right on top of that. Right about there, okay? So we zoom out, you know, we'll have a CPU cooler on here. That's what it's going to look like, okay? You'll route your 24-pin power connector from the PSU through this opening, your SATAs, your front panel connectors, your USB 2.0. Now over here, the HD audio, I don't know if it's going to fit through that hole there. Maybe it will. But if it does, hey. Now, obviously lots of space up here for a 1x8 coming from your, so that's a CPU power connector 1x8. So all kinds of clearance there to get that through. So honestly, you know, Mini ITX looks pretty good on this, and it's one of the motherboards I'm considering. This happens to be a Z490 ITX AC. One of the motherboards I'm considering for the wife if we go Z490 for her. All right, folks, so this is a full-size ATX motherboard. And you can see down here, you do have some openings here to run your connectors. Be a bit tight to run them under the motherboard. Some of these you may do that. Obviously, you've got these gaps on the side. These openings on the side, you can run stuff. The 24-pin connector, you know, doesn't line up very good, which is kind of disappointing, as well as the SATA connectors. So up here, nice big gap. If you you know, are running 1x8 and 1x4, you can run that through there. But overall, this looks like it'd be a good case for a full ATX motherboard. All right, so here we have a micro ATX motherboard, and you see you will have to add the standoffs here and here to get this to sit right. So we'll put that in to line up with the at least 4 of the 6 holes. Now, negatives for this, the openings are way over here, so all your cables are going to have to extend that distance, which doesn't look that great, but still workable. Down here, there are no openings, so either you come in underneath the motherboard or through, you know, one of these existing openings. CPU power, easily come through this opening. And other than that, folks, those are the 3 motherboards that work with this case.